All right, and I'm going to say good morning. Happy October meeting. Can you guys believe it's already October 9th? This year is flying. Wow, insane. So let me put this up on our screen over here. Entertainment room. Can you see it up there? There we go. We're all a go. Fabulous. And we're going to hope for no technical difficulties, which, as I said, we're going to hope. And that's always the hope of the hope, right? But we never know. And I hope everyone's doing great this October so far. We can see, which you'll be able to see with all the sorts of great stuff we have. There's a lot going on. I was just talking to our wonderful partners in crime, the Mustos. Tampa market is not moving so super great, but our market is. And we have to be really thankful for that. So the Orlando market is a moving and a grooving, guys. So as a matter of fact, I've heard in the last week from a couple of you more about multiple offers. That was special. And it is Halloween time coming up. Don't forget, we're going to be having our first ever Halloween party, so don't miss that. We'll be hearing more about that to come with Maria McKee behind the helm of that craziness. So that'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to get us underway. So here we go. And let's make this large. Can everybody online see my screen? Can anybody online?
Yes.
Thank you so much. All right, awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this. Oh, we have no volume. Weird.
Integrity, our exceptional curation of their properties, and the way we outperform the market in exposure and sales. It starts with our award-winning website that attracts over 30 million global visitors each year and is available in 16 languages. This visually immersive experience was designed to give your home the remarkable first impressions it deserves. And that's only the beginning of the exposure we provide your property. We advertise your home with premier global media brands to introduce your home to their affluent audiences. But we don't just wait for someone to search for your home. We proactively introduce it to financially qualified buyers in your target market alongside editorial content. In addition, we allow buyers to take a tour through your home at their leisure on Apple TV.
I love that. At their
Your
leisure.
home also has the chance to be featured on the most visited luxury real estate channel on YouTube and with the potential to reach over 1.2 million of our social media followers. Our award-winning PR team fosters strong relationships with leading media outlets and is accessible to your sales associate to help generate even greater exposure for your home. And we utilize the proprietary Sotheby's Auction House database to reach the most difficult to access buyers. When you choose Sotheby's International Realty, you know that your property will be seen at its finest by the most qualified buyers around the world. Your home deserves nothing less.
So true. So I just want to bring up very briefly, we all have heard tons of crazy chatter about the Compass buyout. Oh my gosh, the acquisition, the merger, the this, the that. And just to go over a couple brief things about it. Can everybody online hear me? Yeah? I just want to make sure that we have nobody trying to get in. We are online, right? Okay, good.
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you, Liz. So, again, it was a stock option play, obviously, a very smart one, if you ask me, because it's a huge acquisition in terms of a merger between two very large companies. But most of all, A, it doesn't happen until next year, so we really won't know, A, if it even happens, because could it be considered too big to happen? Will people try to block it? We don't know. But the other thing is, Compass was hoping to be able to say they're global. Think about this. Compass is not global. But what feather under their cap would enable them to say they're global? I'm going to give you a hint. It starts with an S and it ends with an S. And we all are part of it. Anybody? Anybody? But even though everyone is being so silent, I think you all know it's Sotheby's, but it doesn't mean that they would own Sotheby's. Okay. Just so you know, anywhere which we are under the umbrella of many different companies are under that umbrella, Caldwell Banker, Better Homes and Gardens, ERA, right? Many of them, Cochrane. We are one of the largest franchised. Premier Sotheby's, the number one affiliate, the oldest affiliate, the largest. We are all franchised. We are not owned at all by Sotheby's. We are owned by Judy Green. We are owned by Luckert. We are owned by Peerage, right? They don't own us at all. And Sotheby's is also owned by the auction house. So it's not like they're buying us specifically. Does that make sense? So I just don't want you guys, I know a lot of people will say, oh, so we're all owned by Compass now. No, we're not. Okay. So just putting that out there. However, we are hopeful for some good tech. So, because they do have some really great AI. So just putting that out there again, if anybody does have questions about that, I mean, I can't answer it because nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But there is a lot of chatter in the World Wide Web, mostly on social media, about people who love to think they know what they're talking about, who don't know anything. So just be careful what you listen to. Just take it with a grain of salt. Everybody has an opinion. We all do. Doesn't make it right, right? So just keep that in mind, okay? All right. And with that, the people who do have great opinions, but they're also backed in knowledge, is our wonderful partners, Chris and Heather Musto. And so with that, I'm going to end my show and I'm going to bring it over to them. So I'm going to stop my share. Oh, I'm going to invite all these people. And you guys.
It's so good to see everyone.
Hold on. Okay, go. Why is that weird?
Gary, are you starting the Halloween effects early?
I am. How'd you know? Okay, better.
One of you guys has to turn your volume off too.
You both have.
Ours is off.
Are you unmute you?
I'm muted.
I'm muted too.
I'm unmuted.
Who's
Do
not
you want us to
muted?
come to you?
Can you guys hear me now? Okay. There you go. Woo! Okay.
Sorry for the technical difficulties there.
But it's so good to see everyone. So we'll just give you a little rate update. With the government shutdown, we're not getting any of the inflationary data that we're supposed to, which is kind of good right now. We're just kind of moving sideways with rates, slight ups and downs, but we're at 6.36 is the average for the 30-year conventional rate right now, which has really moved super minimally lately.
Yeah, very up and down, very little.
Just be careful if you see any news articles about increases or decreases for the past 30 days, I'd say. We've been in the 6.3 range. So any increases or decreases are so minimal. You're really not even going to notice in your payment. But one thing to talk about, I put it in the Friday email. I think Realtor.com came out with this article saying that once rates drop into the fives, it's going to unlock a ton of buyers who have just been sitting on the sidelines waiting for rates in the fives. The difference between a 6.36 interest rate and 5.99, so technically still in the fives, on a $500,000 mortgage is about $115 per month.
So nothing.
So nothing. It's like $1,000 a year.
Yeah.
You
It's a
could
mindset.
exactly. You could cut back on getting coffee out, or cut back on subscriptions or something
Go
to
to
make it work.
Dunkin' over Starbucks.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, just a slight downgrade.
Exactly. Buy some of your groceries at Walmart and some at Publix, you know?
Just go to BOGO.
Yes, all BOGOs.
So,
So
but yeah.
it's very minimal. It's a mindset. I think a lot of this is just psychology, the psychology behind it. So you can use that to motivate the buyers. I actually was talking to an advisor in the Tampa market on Tuesday, and she told me that her client was waiting for rates to drop. He found a home. He was waiting for rates to drop. Rates didn't drop because of the Fed cut, because he misunderstood how that impacted mortgage rates, and the house went under contract and he lost it. And he
Yeah.
had super specific requirements for the type of
Yeah.
house he wanted.
And that house came on the market.
That house came on the market and
Yeah.
it left the market,
Yeah.
and he lost it over like $100 a month, you know, or less, could be less. So just make sure you're having those conversations. If you need help with numbers of the difference between certain interest rates, we'd be happy to help you out. But really not much is going on in the mortgage world right now because of the shutdown. So
And can't get flood insurance through the
Yeah.
public sector
Yeah.
right now, so private only. Some impacts with really very minimal other than the flood insurance right now.
there
So.
might be longer timelines for VA or FHA, just slightly.
Only if you have an issue where somebody
Yeah.
actually has to
So
talk
look at
to
it.
someone at those agencies, which is not always the case, but.
And then why don't you talk about the class on Monday?
Yes, so we're super excited. We're going to go over interest rates and APR. So how to look at an APR versus an interest rate, which is really helpful. Not even just in the mortgage world, but you have APRs on your credit card, car loans. And then also we will be talking about one of our programs too called the List and Lock. That's really good if you have a listing that's taking a little bit longer to sell, or maybe you just want to hit the gate or just take off running if you're listing something new, because you're actually able to advertise the reduced interest rate, and it's a permanent buy down on the MLS, on social media, the actual interest rate, not just a percentage.
Love it.
So yeah, so we'll get into that with you guys. But if you have any questions or need anything in the meantime, you know where to reach us.
All right, so
All right.
today we are going to do our awesome drawing for our beautiful luxury box. And this is for anybody in the past 2 weeks that has put in an application with their buyers through Select Lending. And the people who are going to draw it are right here, Chris and Heather. So go ahead. See who's our winner, guys.
Okay, and our winner is Beverly Brown.
All right.
And just share, that was a special case.
More ways than one.
So Sharon
Winner.
was able to help with this. She was a winner in more ways than one. Go ahead.
Yes. So Beverly, talked to Carrie and came to us and, had a deal that was blowing up. Day was supposed to close. Buyer's credit score dropped and
Significantly.
lender completely dropped the ball. It had all kinds of different numbers for how much the clients had to bring to closing. So we were able to step in, got the client's credit fixed, get them into underwriting. Loan will be approved shortly, and will be all she had to do was get an extension.
Yeah, and this
for
was in
closing.
less than a week too.
Yeah.
That Chris brought the credit score up probably 70 points.
Yes. Yeah,
It's
right around
insane.
75 points. Yeah.
Mhm. Guys, I'm going to tell you, when Beverly called me at 9 o'clock at night about this deal, I was like, cut him loose. But I didn't say that. I said last ditch effort. Call Chris and Heather, because if anyone can save this, it sure isn't me. It's going to be Chris and Heather. And I don't even know if they can save it, because that debt to income and then the credit and everything was tight. I mean, everywhere you turned, you're in a box, and that box kept getting closer, closer, closer. And I thought, well, if there's anyone who can save this, is it? And I said, I don't even know if they can do it. And look, they did it. So it's unbelievable. These people probably shouldn't be buying a home, but I'm so glad they are. You don't get in that position just by accident. So anyway, we're hoping they take some classes on how to keep the credit good once they have it good. But anyway, yeah. So great news. Super excited. Awesome job. Woo! And Beverly, are you on? She's not on. She should be on, because she just won a beautiful blue box. So we'll have to tell her that her blue box will be waiting for her. So yay. Okay. So you guys can all hear me, right? I'm assuming. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I can.
Okay, Claire. So you're gonna go do our marketing now. Yeah, hold on. Let me make sure you can. You want to? Well, you don't need to take the screen, right? You want to just talk, or?
I'll just go through your slides.
Oh, I can't really hear you. Turn.
Oh, what do you mean? I'm unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Oh, you're on. are you muted?
No.
Oh, well, hold on. Okay, go ahead, talk.
Do you have any slides?
Um, oh,
Carrie, we can hear Claire, just so you know.
okay,
All of
now
Thank
we all
you.
can. We're good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. And now, play. No, that was good because I can't hear her. All right. So news and updates and reminders. So go, Claire, go.
Yep, this is not necessarily just a marketing reminder, but an overall brand reminder that this October is Relationship Planning Month. So there is an advisor panel with Aaron McDonald on October 14th, and then another webinar on October 28th with Peter Pornig and Bud Chesky. So plan to attend those.
Also, October 14th, we're going to have our very own Stacy Rollins on that panel. Woo, woo. So exciting. Definitely make sure you're there for that. Okay.
So we
Mhm.
have announced our date for the 2026 kickoff event. The Central Florida one will be January 20th at the All Fun Inn. Um, Keep in mind, if you're not able to make the Central Florida one, which I encourage everyone to do so, you can attend another regions.
Awesome. And, I didn't know you were going to be on, Claire. So if there's anything specific you want to talk about, but hit it.
Awesome. I think everything will probably be in these slides, what I would hit on. So now in Propel, you can find the webinar recording, the facts and questions, and the user guide for the exclusive look. I highly encourage you guys, if you didn't attend the webinar, to watch this. I've gotten a ton of questions about this recently, but it just kind of goes through private placements and through PSER. Well, really, the exclusive look is through SIR, but we also have our private placements through PSER that syndicates through our systems, and now we have Sotheby's who has theirs. So make sure you take a look at that, read through the facts and questions, and check out the user guide.
Okay, I didn't put it here because I didn't think you were going to be on. But what I want you to actually, no, I did put it here. I'm just going to jump over to here. What's new in Design Vault? I'm going to go back to exclusive look guys with me, but what I want you, because it's a little bit about our team, I want you to talk about the new Video Cloud library with the brand.
Yep, so we have some more videos available for you guys in the video library. You can access this through Design Vault, and then on the left-hand side, you can click Video Studio and check out those new templates.
Yeah, so it goes through a whole storyboard, right? Like create your storyboard and it creates all different kinds of things, right? And you can take a screenshot of this and it helps you to get started through that, which is pretty cool.
These are nice because they make it a little bit more creative in sharing your listings.
Anything else you wanted to go over? Because that's really all I have for marketing because I thought you weren't going to be here.
Besides the
Oh,
Power Up,
Moxie. Can you talk about the Moxie present for real estate reviews? Because I wanted to put that out there, but I thought you weren't going to be there, so I didn't.
what do you mean? Like just utilizing Moxie
Yes, and which one you pick?
for the real estate reviews?
Yep. You know
They
what?
have multiple different templates. Did you? Yep, we can
Can
go into
you guys see my screen online that I am here at? Let's see, I'm going to go in here to Sir. Hold on, let me move this thing. You guys see that I'm at Sir? Oh, God darn it. I'm freaking logged out, of course. Hold on. So you go here and I go to Sir Resources. Everybody knows this, right?
and then to Moxie
Oh, then
present.
you got to get a code. Oh, can you
Wait,
talk
yep.
about the Okta thing?
What Okta thing?
Oh, okay. Guys, there's a new Okta thing from Sir that we are going to have to stop getting the code. We're going to have to use an app. And I haven't done it yet, so I can't tell you how to do it because I haven't done it.
Oh,
But
that must be like
from Philip
advice
White.
facing. Yeah, because I don't go through Okta.
Yeah. So once I do that, I'll let everybody know how to do it, but it's going to stop asking over the next 30 days for your phone and it's going to have some app. It's going to be a Okta app that you have to download, which I have yet to do. So once I do it, I'll let you know, but I haven't done it yet because I haven't. So Okay.
We love two-factor authentication.
That's so fun. So when you get here, guys, what you're going to do is when you go over to Moxie Works, go ahead. I'm going to do it for you, Claire. You take it away. So let's say we're in real estate review time, right, guys? This is the time we want to start doing all of our real estate reviews because this is a time we set it up because holidays are coming. Great reason to reach out. We're going to talk more and more about this in our business, relationship planning. But this is something that we will be talking about, and I want you to be aware of where to find this and which form, which one you should use. So,
So if you were following Carrie along, she clicked Moxie Works, which is the company that is overarching. It hosts Moxie Present. And then it takes a second once you click that for the top little tabs to appear, and you'll click Present. So that's going to take you into Moxie Present.
okay.
And then hit Create New. And then Property Review if you're doing a real estate review one.
Versus if you were going to do a CMA, you would pick seller.
So, exactly.
And then you could pick obviously only the brokerage template you want.
Yeah, I would do the default. That's your only option, but then go through. It's similar to the seller presentation.
Carry template. I'm just going to put that there for now. And
Then I
then,
would pick the luxury one.
oh, I didn't pick luxury.
It's okay. The luxury is just a little bit more luxurious. And again, it's a lot of the similar steps for the seller presentation.
So if it's not in the MLS, you have to upload everything. If it is in the, it doesn't link though to the county records like Cloud CMA, does it?
I don't think so.
What a bummer. But if it is in an MLS, then we could obviously link it to, does anyone know their MLS? Lauren, what's the MLS ID for any of your listings? Do you know one? I
If
expect.
it's been previously listing and you can listed, you can pull the records too from
Right.
past years.
Letter O.
Uh-huh.
634011. It's pending, if that matter.
I don't know. So
No, if it's still in the MLS, it doesn't matter.
The office ID number.
oh, I don't need that. That's okay. And then I hit that, and then isn't it supposed to pull it up right away?
You have to hit copy.
Oh, see, good thing I'm asking her. Oh, see, and there, boom, it pulls it all up for you. Love it. And then hit continue.
Mm-hmm.
And you would do the same thing like you would if you were doing a CMA.
It's very, very similar to the seller presentation.
So obviously I'm not, you could look at it and see which ones are similar. I'm just checking any of them right now. Let's say I like those. I'm just not really looking at them, but I'm going to say continue just for sake of time right now. And then, okay, yeah, they're perfect. Let's just say they're really not because I didn't actually pay attention, but I'm going to say continue. Okay, right?
Yep. Then again, estimated pricing, you can do a range.
Now, I don't want to do pricing because it's a real estate review. We don't ever put the price of their home.
Well, it's very, like, this template is very, very similar to the
Now, what do you do? I'm a funk singer.
Okay, so this is very similar to a CMA, but we could take this page out, correct?
You can take the page out.
Okay, so that's great because we obviously don't want net proceeds or estimated pricing. And then we say continue. So see down here, guys, if you want to take out any of these pages, like price and, any of these pricing or whatever, these are what those pages are, you just can delete them right over here.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Exactly.
you just don't print them.
If you had gotten the luxury version or the PISA version, then all of our the stuff that Budge is in there in his letter, all that stuff would have been there, Carrie, and you can reorder it. You can really customize and save it as yours, which is nice.
Well, if only I picked luxury. Darn it.
Bad.
But at least you all see how to do that. So it's the property one, not the
property
seller.
review.
All right. Any questions for Claire? What was that special weird lines? I don't know how that did that. I know. I don't even know how I did that. So any questions for Claire? Well, thank you, Claire. That was awesome and very quick. We appreciate that. Woohoo!
Very welcome. I'm going to go hop on the power up.
I knew you had to.
And the next one is again the second Thursday of the month, and I will be running that one with Melissa Morehouse. So I hope you guys will attend.
Okay, well, I'll try to have I think my sales meeting can be before that one.
I think they're moving it to start to being at 11.
Oh, that'll be so much better because then we could even do my sales meeting and then go right into it.
There
That'll
you
be-
go.
Okay,
Bye,
perfect.
everyone.
Okay, bye. All right, so I'm going to share and continue on. But now we're going to go back over here and I'm going to go back up. Let's talk a little bit about, guys. Actually, you know what? While we're over here, I'm going to go back into Sotheby's. This is really what I want to talk about. You guys can still see my screen online. You guys can see the Sotheby's, yeah? Maria, can you see that? So,
Yes, we see it.
thank you. What I want to talk about actually, guys, is exclusive look. I hit on it briefly. Now that we are truly into the period of the new delayed distribution, which by the way, just so you know, I have disabled it for all my offices. So no one can accidentally delay distribution. Whew, so we're safe. However, that means if you are going to do private placement, let's go over this briefly. Private placement, you must do an office exclusive form. Is everybody with me? When you do the office exclusive form, let's just take a little quick peek. That was very special what I said there. I don't know what happened there, but let's take a little quick. If we go into .loop, oh my God, it didn't make me log in. That was like a miracle. You guys see that? That was like Christmas miracle. Okay. Listing folder. And we go into here. There's a couple things we're going to talk about in here today, actually, because we have some industry updates we're going to go over today. Did anybody know? Does anybody know there's been industry updates? I saved it for our meeting because they weren't really that earth-shattering, so I thought we could wait. Did I say that out loud? I really did, but it's okay. So anyway, here we are. So let's say we're going to do a private placement, right? So we need an office exclusive. Who has been playing my damn thing again? Oh, let me see. FFGG, residential entry for, my God. Ah, here it is, right here. It's called now MLS options for property owners. They're trying to say they're giving property owners options. So the first page is really like the old form we used to have that basically gets, you have to have your seller initial everything here that says, look at all the reasons you want to be in the MLS. It's so amazing. Look, immediate exposure to all these licensees, immediate visibility online, heightened competition gets more people to your listing. Oh my gosh, you have to be in the MLS. You understand you're not, right? That's the whole point of this page, right? It's a sales technique of all the reasons you want to be in the MLS. So you just got to get them to sign that. Then fair housing, of course, we do not violate fair housing, race, color, creed, national origin, blah, 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 right? That's what they're admitting. They're agreeing that they will not violate. They're admitting, I do it. No, just kidding. They're agreeing that they will not violate fair housing. But this is the part that's important. You see here, there's three options. There's office exclusive with temporary exclusion, delayed distribution. Well, forget delayed distribution. I've already told you I've already taken it off the table. No one can do it. Sorry. Now, what we are doing is really the second one, office exclusion with temporary exclusion, because the idea is we always want to aim for full syndication, don't we? That's the whole goal, right? But the point is that there's a reason we're doing private placement. Maybe we're trying to come up with a price. Maybe we're waiting for something, right? But we definitely are doing it with a goal of eventually getting to full syndication. That's always our goal, which is why we want you to do office exclusive with temporary exclusion. Okay. So you check the second box and you have them initial this. What you do not, follow me, do not fill in is this box here, because MLS does not accept if this has been crossed out or changed or modified. Meaning, so if you fill this in and then you change the date you plan to go live, you got to fill out these forms again. How stupid is that? So don't fill it in, leave this blank, and when we are going to go live, we will fill it in for you. Okay, everybody with me on that? Now, yes.
That previous one.
Correct. I've taken the old one out of dot loop. Now I can't promise that somebody who's evil and in my documents, I can't promise that they won't go in and put it back in there, but I can tell you I've taken it out for now, and that evil little elf who goes in my forms, they may put it back in, but it is out at the moment. It is now, just so you know, it says MLS options for property owners. That is the only MLS form that is required. The difference also is that we do not upload this to MLS anymore. Yay, because instead we're loading your listing in MLS. It is now a status in MLS as an office exclusive. So MLS has your listing in the system. But if someone says there's a violation, puts in a violation, they will request to see this form. So we have to have the form on file. Period, end of story. You follow me? That is why we need the form. But we do not have to file the form, which is great. Okay, everybody good on that? The other thing, just so we still have, so there's not confusion, if everyone's like, well, what is this? We have what's called our private placement form. This one, temporary private placement entry form. This is just for our folks, my team, Cindy, Jane, Jill, to put it into our private placement in our hub, right? Because it gives some extra information so that the team members know a little more about your home. So that's all this is. Your sellers do not need to sign it. This is not official like that. This is simply for the team so that they can put more information about your home and enter it in. And then they know that that's what you're trying to do, right? You follow me? That you want it in there. But that's all that this is for. But everybody with me on that? Now, here's the latest and the greatest. What, Carrie? There's a latest and a greatest? Yes, there is. And that latest and the greatest is called Exclusive Look. How late and great is it? Well, I can't tell you that. But what it is the brand has put this out. And it's the brand's private placement. I also like to call mine Quiet Exclusive. They're calling theirs Exclusive Look. You know, we all have names, right? But what this is this is an opportunity for you to basically put it in yourself. Does that terrify me? Absolutely. But my team cannot put it in for you because they do not have access to Sotheby's. Jane, Jill, Cindy do not have SIR logins. So they cannot enter this for you. So if you want to put this in here, it's a great opportunity. Now look, when I put in exclusive look, I take out Orlando, I get exclusive looks all over the place. So Siesta Key, for example, let's take a peek at this. Oh, I just clicked on the pictures. If I click on this, this is by Sotheby's International Realty Premier Sotheby's, Liz. Liz is down in our Sarasota office. So we see all these exclusive looks throughout Premier Sotheby's. The point of exclusive look, private placement, this is for our whole, it could be North Carolina, it could be any Premier Sotheby's office, and it could be for any length of time. Everybody with me on that? So you could put in a location, you could say Naples and search Naples, and now I'll see there's one in Naples. Being very, very specific about that. And it's a co-list. So if you're co-listing it, you could say that. But you could then say no location and you could get everything. Now, let's say you want to add a listing of your own. You click on add listing and you're immediately asked a question. Do you want to do exclusive look or sneak peek or both? And you're going, well, Carrie didn't say anything about sneak peek. What is that? Sneak peek is very cool, but can be a little bit dicey. So let me share with you, what is sneak peek? Sneak peek is the last day. So when you do exclusive look, you put an end date that you think exclusive look will end. So you like, we do, like we assume you're planning to go on the MLS by November 1st or whatever. So if that's the case, then sneak peek, if you plan to go on the MLS by November 1st, October 31st, it would go into sneak peek, meaning everybody all across, I don't know if it's any Anywhere brand or anyone that you select, because I haven't put one in yet, they will get to see that listing if they look for it, which is pretty cool. But here's the problem, guys. as happens all the time, you decide, we're not going to do November 1st, we're going to go November 15th. But you didn't change it here. And now November 1st comes and it's gone through all these people and they've all seen it. Is that public marketing? Yeah, it is. Do I think you're really going to get caught for clear cooperation? Probably not, because it really is internal. It kind of is one-to-one, which is really allowed, but is it gray and kind of sticky and kind of like, yes. So just want you to keep aware of that. If you've chosen to do sneak peek and you change the date that you're going to go live, I highly recommend you come in here and change your sneak peek date. Make sense? Okay, so you could say you're an agent, co-listing, or a team. You put in your information, you don't have to upload your image here. If you're putting in something, you're logged into yourself, your image appears, your information appears, your office appears. This is linked to your Sotheby's account. None of that stuff has to be loaded by you. It all comes in here automatically. What does have to go in there is, see, it's in here. I'm a manager, so obviously I'm not listing anything, but anything about the property. So you can upload your photos, you put in the street address, and as many pictures or virtual tour links or what have you that you want. That's what you're really putting in here. Any questions about this? Silence. Does anybody like the idea of this? So we'll see. I want you guys to see what you think. Let me know if you're using it. It's funny. My leadership team has all asked, Carrie, how's it working? I haven't really rolled it out to you guys. So here's my big rollout. Rolled to you. So let me know if you're using it. Let me know if you like it. Mostly because I wanted my team to be able to put it in for you, and we can't because we've tried every which way and we don't have access to Sotheby's by Jane, Cindy, and Jill. So we can't do it for you. Sorry. Wish we could, but we can't. So that's how that goes. Everybody good on that? All right, back over to here. So that is the sneak peek. That is the exclusive look. And let's talk about forms and updates. So here's what's new in the industry. You guys ready for this? Does anybody know that they changed a bunch of forms, including the listing agreement, which really made me mad when they changed it in our system and then they didn't have our disclaimers in it and they didn't have our baked in 395. And I was like, what? Nobody told me they changed it. Thank you for that. So I've already gone into our forms, our listing agreement, and re-added the verbiage in the back that says that as long as everybody's signed and dated this, we're in a listing agreement, and I've added the 395 back in. Just so you know, you probably didn't even blink and miss it, but it was there or missing. So first thing that's changed is flood disclosures. So effective October 1, what has happened is they allow the seller to state whether or not they've had knowledge of flooding that has damaged the property, and they've broadened the types of assistance that the seller has to disclose. Because they used to say only federal assistance. Now they want to know any assistance. It could be the seller, it could be the brother, it could be the mother, and local charity. If they have had assistance from anybody due to flooding, you have to disclose that now. So here's the form. And here it is. Seller has no knowledge of any flooding that has damaged the property. I don't care if you've never lived there, guys. If someone's managing your property, you know if it's had damage. So when people like, oh, I don't know, I haven't lived there, you know, if your property was damaged, you had to pay to have it fixed, didn't you? So that is not going to fly. And flood disclosure is it is a required form by the state of Florida. Governor DeSantis put that into effect last year. This is a big issue. And they've changed this. Here you go. Seller has or has not filed a claim with an insurance provider. See that? Seller has or has not received assistance. That is a big one because it is not FEMA, it is not just state, or it's not insurance, it's any kind of assistance at all. So does that mean the neighbor came over and helped you? Yeah. They're saying any assistance. And that is Joanna Watkins. And that was the legal counsel saying that. So don't play around with that. So This is really important. And then and then they talk about the term flooding means general or temporary condition of partial or inundation of inland tidal waters. And then they talk about that. So that's the flooding. So that's exactly what flooding refers to. So then they give you the definition of that. Okay.
Or
Yes.
on that last slide, if there is a situation where you have a lot of standing water at a property, would the seller write that in below, like, and kind of disclose that there or
You know
elsewhere?
what? It's not flooding, but again, I wouldn't be opposed to having them put that down because again, over disclosure is better than under disclosure. You know, especially when it's a legally mandated form. So although it's because it says sustained periods of standing water resulting from rainfall, it says it right there, C. And it tells you complete inundation of the property caused by any of the following sustained periods of standing water. So if that's what you're talking about, and that's from rainfall. So, I mean, that's C right there. They actually called it out. Did that answer your question, Mark?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. The other thing that has been added, they have now added the flood disclosures to leases, which is just one other reason why I hate these things. So I'm hopeful that we will be getting leasing in our area soon, so we won't have to do any of it because I don't want any of it underneath me. But and as you all know, our wonderful little Elsie Benitez, whom I know and love for years and years, has been a wonderful part of our team, is going to be starting her own property management. Send it to her because we don't want to do it until we have our very own. But at any rate, what you need to know is that if you are doing a lease, even the landlords have to disclose it to the tenants. Same thing. And here is the new lease flood disclosure. So if you have a lease, and God help you if you're filling those forms in with them, I hate all of it. You have to have, this is a required document now. Everybody with me? Please don't be, because don't do leases, but you know, okay. Now, here's the next change. The exclusive right of sale listing agreement has changed. Have they been big changes? No, it's just why I haven't run and told you about it. But there have been changes. The most changes really have been because of delayed distribution. And basically, they're trying to say that the policies in MLSs have varied and changed. And what was very difficult for them to write this is because every MLS has different policies. So Stellar has decided that their delayed distribution, they're going to do it, and they're going to do it for 5 days. Right? Well, Space Coast may not, or, you know, Miami may not. So everybody in the state of Florida has different MLSs, sadly. I wish we all had one, but they don't. And they can decide to participate in delayed distribution or not. And if they are going to participate, how long? What is the terms? This is all different. With Stellar, if you participate in delayed distribution, days on market count, they show the price. If you decrease it, it goes into the record. Some programs don't show that. So this is where, and I know this because I've been talking to different brokers that, you know, my thought leaders from across the nation, some of them don't participate because they had coming soon and they felt like it was the same thing. Others of them do participate, but days on market don't count, and neither does price decreases, which if that was the case here, maybe I would think delayed distribution would be good. But here it does, so it doesn't make any sense for us. So at any rate, that's why they made this language about as vague as one could make it. Seller and broker agree to adhere to each local MLS policies and further agree to execute any applicable forms as necessary. Could that be any more vague? I don't really think it could, but yeah. And then here, unless marketing options pursuant to local MLS rules apply, again, based upon the delayed distribution rules and restrictions, or however you're doing, if you're doing, they're not doing delay, but they're doing coming soon, or that's what they're trying to address in the most vague possible way that they can. So those. Now, the next one is more interesting. The compensation section. And to be honest, I didn't even notice this. I have to be honest. But when they went through this section, I thought, oh my gosh, how funny. The old listing agreement, when they had first made the change, actually said under the compensation section for working with the buy side, it said the seller approves the following, check all that apply. How retarded. So the seller could actually have said they authorize us to offer offers of compensation, and they authorize themselves. Why would they choose both? That makes absolutely no sense to me at all, but they could have. And so what was happening was it wasn't working like that. They were getting more confusion than anything. They were getting tons of more disputes over the fact of, there was no clarity. So they decided, which makes more sense, that you have to pick one. I think that's a good idea, right? One, not the other. And now they also added, if no option is checked, then option C is deemed to be checked. So if you forget to fill that section, it means the seller's not offering compensation. So that they didn't have that either. So those are the changes in the in the forms. Any questions? Not big changes, little nuanced changes, but things you should definitely know about. Everybody good? Okay, some big changes in MLS. Anybody been paying attention? To know that we have a ton more reciprocal MLS access and integrated data shares, which could be interesting. So this is where we are now. We can now see South Florida listings, and that is all the way down to Miami. We can see Rhode Island listings right down here. Yep, Miami is now cooperating with us, which is interesting. We can now see Mid-Atlantic listings, which is interesting. We can now see California listings, pretty interesting. And this is only from the CRMLS. That's the California Regional. There's a lot of MLSs in California. We can see Latin America listings in multiple places now. Look how many places we could see. We could see Colombia, Venezuela, Peru, Bolivia, and Paraguay, as well as Mexico, Belize, Costa Rica, and Panama. Yeah. So, oops, I get ahead. So getting ahead of myself. So go back. So that is a lot more places that you can see listings. Does that mean you can take listings in those areas? No. Because just because they're reciprocating, giving us access to show it, doesn't mean that if we can list in there. If you wanted, not that we could anyway, because of our status agreements with the brand, but let's say Miami, if you wanted to take a listing down there, of course the brand we couldn't anyway, but if you could, you couldn't do it through Stellar. You would still have to join their board in order to have it go on their local board to be shown that way. But what this reciprocal agreement does is it shows us the data. It puts it into our MLS, just so you follow me, but it's not like it goes like a native feed. Does that make sense to everybody? Not that we would use it that way. No one's going to be listing a home in Rhode Island, right? Because last time I checked, no one's licensed in Rhode Island. Yeah, I have a lot of people licensed in many places, like Laura Farr is in Maine more than she's here, but but not Rhode Island. I haven't seen that one yet. So, but that's kind of exciting. So we've got some new places. We're crossing new borders. It's 11 new states. So, if only we could just take all of Florida, it would make life so much easier. All these different MLSs, and what a pain in the neck. Just so you know, so far in our region, again, because this question comes up to me very often, Stellar goes all the way out to Tampa, all the way down to Sarasota, and then it stops. And then the craziness of a billion different other little MLSs begin. Then it goes now all the way up to Ocala and Gainesville. However, there's a little caveat over there called Citrus. Citrus County is its own MLS. So if you want to list over there, of course, I have an office up there, as you all know, but Citrus, they do not even participate. They do not share data. And if you're listed in Stellar, they do not show it in Citrus. If you listed in Citrus, they do not show it in Stellar. So if you want to have a house in Citrus and you put it in Stellar, no agent in Citrus will even know it's listed. Yeah, it's a little antiquated little board. They have about 300 people in there, 350, and they refuse to get with the program. They like to make the little monies from the little people, and they will not participate with Stellar. Very annoying, the bane of my existence. just so you know. And yes, I'm part of that board. Not the board, God, no, but I'm part of the association and the MLS. And then going out to the East Coast, of course, Brevard County gets crazy, right? Because it just halts. Space Coast is its own thing. The Daytona Beaches is its own thing. One of them joined, I think it's called The Beaches or something. One of them joined Stellar or is joining Stellar. But then there's other ones. So the East Coast is a mess, total mess. But it would be great if we could get that. We have California, but we don't have, the East Coast of Florida. So anyway, but just so you know, and I am a member of Space Coast and the Daytona Beaches MLS. But if you want to be a member, you can join only if I'm a member. You can't go join an MLS if the broker's not a member. Everybody with me? Okay. Excellent. All right, now let's see what's been going on. So this is the first time I have seen a little downward mobility, but it's so minor. Again, I think it's probably a big sale. So Dr. Phillips sold 54 homes in September compared to 39 the year before at the same time. So obviously a lot of sales. And these are the two, obviously, zip codes and only single family. We have 197 active listings versus 220 the month before. So obviously we are soaking up our inventory. The days on market are 68, which is actually pretty good compared to 36 the year before. And the average sales price is 1.2 million, which is actually pretty strong compared to 1.3. So you can see it probably was just one sale that threw, could have been a golden oak or something. So yeah, it says it's 9% down, but it's pretty flat, I would say. That's a strong average sales price. Now, the 32836, we can see we're still about 4.5 months of supply, maybe 5 months. So definitely a balanced market. The months of supply in 32819 has dropped. So we were a little higher, closer to 6. Now we're about 5.5 maybe. So again, balanced market. Lake Nona, flat. I said 0.4 down, but literally we're flat. So we sold 45 homes this last month compared to 54 the year before. We have 274 active, and there were 275 active the month before. That is crazy. How funny is that, right? The days on market are 65. Again, that's healthy compared to 37 the year before. Our average sales price is 902. Guys, 902 in Lake Nona. I still can't believe it. It's insane. Lauren, remember when it first started here? What were they, like 400? Yeah, 902. They've doubled. I mean, no doubt. So anyway, but compared to 948, so really they're flat. But let's take a look at what's happening on months of supply. So in 32827, we've dipped and then started to rise again, but we're about 5.5 months of supply. So again, balanced. And in 32832, we're right about 5.5 months. So again, we have some good inventory, but we're a balanced market. Windermere, we're up 5%. Again, pretty flat, right? So the total, we sold 53 homes compared to 33 the year before. We have 210 active, so a couple more have gone on the market since the month before, which was 191. 73 days on market compared to 72 the year before. How funny is that? But our average sales price is 1.6. That is pretty strong, guys. So we have a very strong market. Our months of supply is pretty low. We're closer to 4. So maybe 4.5 months of supply. So it's balanced, but that's pretty strong for Windermere at that price point. Winter Garden is up 0.03. So again, pretty flat, right? We sold 115 homes compared to 117 last year. So it's pretty consistent. We have 476 versus 502. So we're soaking up inventory. There's 50 days. That's the lowest days on market. Look at that. Compared to 42 last year. And our average sales price in Winter Garden is 753, which with all that new construction is pretty strong, actually. Now here is you're like, oh my God, that's high. And then you realize that's only 4 months. So actually it's almost a little under 4 months. So Winter Garden, if you're looking for an area to do business, if you're trying to get sales listings, this is a good area. There's some good talk tracks here for sellers right there. Claremont, flat again. I mean, I say 0.01 down, but it's flat, right? So they sold 127 homes versus 126 the year before. Very close. There are 530 active, but look, 550 the month before. So they're soaking up inventory as well. 59 days on market, moving quickly. And their average sales price is 513. That still kills me. I mean, Claremont used to be like 350. It used to be the Ocala of my area, you know, so that's crazy. And they're really right about maybe just under 5 months of supply. So again, see, when everyone's like, oh my God, we have so much supply. We don't in Central Florida. Now, we're not dying for supply, but it's a nice, healthy market we have here. We're really lucky. Ocala, again, flat, 0.006. I just thought it was fun, but it's flat. So look at this. We sold 498 homes. I mean, we've sold more than the year before, but our active inventory is pretty close to the month before. Days on market are 88, so they have ticked up, but a lot of that has to do with the Southwest corridor where all those new builds are, and that's where this average sales price comes in of 307. And our months of supply, as you can see, is about 5.5 in Ocala. So we don't have any one of our markets even close to 6. So we have a very strong market here in Central Florida. Our office update, we have 240 active listings in our offices, $188 million of active volume listed, and our average sales price between all of our offices is $685. And that includes everything we have listed. So that's pretty good. I think we're doing extremely well, guys. So Southeast Orlando in September, you guys listed 7.5 million with Ohana, Peyton, Walter Mackelberg, Susan Abshire, Casey Borders, Lauren Ensley, and Mike Mitchell. Congratulations. We had new sales of 6.7 million. Ohana, Suzette, Boujon, Marima Hernandez, Lauren Ensley, Susan Abshire, Casey Borders, Peyton, Anna Martins, Keith Koch, Julia Hillary, and Marima Hernandez. Nice. And we closed 6.5 million. Ohana, Anna, Peyton, Lauren, Casey, Susan, Marima, Barbara Ashley Jones, Shane Carson, Suzette Boujon, and Jeannie Green. Very nice, guys. Okay, so Dr. Phillips and Claremont, Dawn Giacchetti, Carol Medeiros, Alex Minato, Angela Jasmine, Lisa Campire, Daniel Dorado, Carrie Bellish, Robin Bocuse, Val Flaherty, Sandra Harvey, Lynn Liu, Alejandro Quayle, Bobby Weldon, Kelly, and April, 11.5 million in listings. Very nice. And we got new pendings at 9.5 million. Daniel Dorado, Dawn Giacchetti, Angela Jaspin, Emily Knudsen, Maria McKee, Carol Medeiros, Linda O'Grady, Brady Richardson, Wendy Fisher, and Linda Boo. Great job, guys. And we closed 18.5 million. Congratulations, Janet and Janice, Jules Cornero, Linda Fu, Dawn Giacchetti, Leslie Heimer, Angela Jasmine, Maria McKee, Alex Minato, Linda O'Grady, Teresa White, April Winters, Raquel Campos, Max Caldwell, Liz Colina, Daniel Dorado, Wendy Fisher, Emily Knudsen, Alejandro Quell, and Kelly Whitaker. Woo! And then in Ocala, small but mighty, 8.5 million in listings. Congratulations, Tana, Jill, Michelle, Angela, Jill again, there you go, and Stacy. Good job. And then sales, 6.5 million. Tana, Maddie, Angela, Jill, Michelle, and Channing. Nice. And Channing just had a new baby. And in September, they did 6 million in sales, which is Jill, Maddie, Angela, Stacy, Heather, and Channing. Beautiful. So I'd like to say happy birthday to our October birthdays, Anna, Maddie, Leslie, Shane, Suzette, Susie, and Theo. And I'd like to congratulate the Endlines with Valentina Endline Della Santa, who was born September 30th at 8:53 p.m. She's 6 pounds and 15 ounces. Congratulations, Andrea and Gabrielle. Beautiful. I can't wait to meet her. Now, I hope you're all coming to Casey Borders Broker Open from 11:30 till I don't know what time, 2:30. Casey, are you on? I don't know. And Shandy, can you share about yours that you have coming up next Wednesday?
Yes, hi. I'm super excited to invite you all. Next Wednesday, I want to invite you to wear your tennis or pickleball best. We're going to have fun. It's a 1 acre estate out in Sanford. It is a little bit of a drive. I understand that, but we're going to make it worth your while and have fun. I'm going to have a videographer there. He'll be creating content. I'm happy to collab and give you guys content so you can use and pump out as marketing as well. We're going to have food, drinks, snacks. We will actually have, so I don't actually play tennis, so forgive me if I say this wrong, but I believe it's an automatic ball feeder. So we'll have rackets and different things to have fun out there. But yep, that's going to be next Wednesday from 12 to 3, and I would love to have you all there.
Well, I will be there, so I hope you guys come and join me. And then, what you've all been waiting for, the announcement. Where will the Christmas party be? It's going to be at Wednesday, December 3rd at 60 Vines. Woo! In Dr. Phillips. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have the front room, the greenhouse, and the patio. Private area from 5 to 8 p.m. Tons of delicious food, wine, drinks, deliciousness. Be there or be square. No, it's going to be definitely be there. That's why I put it out early, because I want to make sure you all get it on your calendar, because I know Art Basil's right after it. So make sure you put it in your calendar. Also, I want you to know I'm looking forward to having the Giving Thanks luncheons 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So I didn't put the dates on there yet because I'm still working it out, but I'm thinking the week of November 10th. So I don't know if it'll be the Monday or the Wednesday and the Tuesday or the Thursday, and then Ocala on the 14th. So those are going to be, I will send out the actual dates once I get it all confirmed, but we'll be doing our Giving Thanks luncheon in each of our offices because we have so much to give thanks for, because I know I'm certainly thankful for each of you. You guys are an amazing team, and I'm so thankful for everything you do. Oops, poor Ariana's been, who knows how long she's been waiting. And of course, I can't even get her in. Good gosh. But thank you guys for everything you do. You're an amazing team. I'm so thrilled to be part of each and every one of your lives. Look forward to doing our business planning the following Monday. So this coming Monday is with the Mustos. The following Monday, we'll start our business relationship planning workshop. And then I'll start meeting with each one of you one-on-one to start planning your year ahead, because we've got some great stuff and I can't wait to get you started. So looking forward to each of you. Plus, remember, don't forget, we've started our crypto closings. The Closing City does it for us, and there's no risk to your seller. Any information you need on that is great. We have it for you. It's all FinCEN approved, 160 different types of crypto, and I'm happy to share anything you need, so just give me a buzz. Have a great week, guys, and hope to see you at Casey's. Bye.